Hello guys, today we have Heidi come and join us over Zoom to share her testimony of conversion and tell us how she got saved by the grace of God. So let's welcome Heidi to our channel and let's talk to her today. Hello Heidi.
Hi everyone, and hi Andy. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, thanks. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. And thank you for taking time and joining us over the Zoom and being able to share your story and share the story of your conversion. How would you explain somebody who doesn't know what it means to be a Christian?
So the best way to describe that word would be that a Christian means it's somebody who's a person, one of Christ's. So if you're a Christian, you're one of Christ. So that means that they identify with Jesus Christ because they had a distinct moment in their life when they accepted that Jesus' death on the cross was for them. So as sinners before God, which is me, which is you, which is everybody, anybody listening to this, which is not an easy thing to listen to, but it's the fact. So as sinners before God, we also fall short of his perfect standard. And if you're really honest with yourself, it's not that hard to look and see that we're not perfect, unfortunately, but we're not. So we fall short of God's standard. And because of that, our consequence is separation from God forever in an awful place called hell. But Jesus came 2,000 years ago, and he died on the cross. He was a perfect man, and he died in the place of all sinners. So that means me, and that means you, and again, anybody watching this, he died in our place. And so what he did was he paid the price that we all deserve. And so therefore, you can say that a Christian is somebody who understands that they are a sinner and accept that Jesus' death on the cross was for them.
Thank you, Heidi. Well, without further ado, if you just want to share your testimony, how you got converted, how you got saved, or how you became a Christian, I think we would love to hear that.
Basically, it starts very simply. I had the privilege of growing up in a home where my parents were both saved, and I realized that that is amazing to have that privilege. But something I need to be very clear about is that my parents being Christians did not mean that I was automatically a Christian. Mm-hmm. So when I was 6 years old, my church had a series of messages about God for 2 weeks in a row, and they were every night. So during that 2-week period, I would go with my family and I would sit and I would listen to these messages that two different men would get up and talk about God and about Jesus and about needing to be saved. And I would listen to it, and it was nothing new to me. I had always heard this message since I was a kid. And during that 2-week period, I thought I got saved. So I told my parents that I had accepted Jesus and I was saved and I was good to go. And they were happy, obviously, and everybody was happy and it was all good. However, I missed a very key point. I did not take that message personally. So when I was listening, I heard Jesus died for sinners. And I thought, yeah, okay, well, yeah, that's a sinner. Everyone's a sinner, though. So, yeah, okay. So then I guess Jesus died for me. Yeah, okay. But I didn't make the connection that my own sins were taking me to an awful place called hell. It didn't click with me. Mm-hmm. So something else that I missed very clearly was that another word we talk about, we also read it in the Bible, is believe. And I struggled for so long with that word because it didn't make sense to me. What does it mean to believe? So I carried on that way for 4 years, thinking I was saved when I wasn't, which is a very dangerous place to be. But during that 4-year period, I had no peace. I was completely distraught. I had dreams all the time where I'd have nightmares about hell. I dreamt recurring dream all the time. It was awful. So then, fast forward 4 years later. It's a Sunday night. My parents and I and my whole family's driving home from church. And my mom says to me, Heidi, wasn't that the man that was speaking the night you got saved? And I said to her, I don't know. I don't remember. And she said to me, don't you think that you should remember some of the details of the most important time of your life? I think my mom knew, based on my lack of interest in ever talking about God, my very shady testimony, that things weren't really real for me. And so I think her saying that was God's way of using her to speak to me. So I got home that night and I knew, I have to deal with this. I have to deal with this tonight. So I got home and I remember shaking and crying and just feeling so distraught and just confused about what I was to do. And so I realized with sudden clarity that I wasn't saved. And if I died in that 4-year period from being 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I would not be in heaven. And that terrified me. It scared me to no end. And so at that moment, I realized I'm not saved. What I have isn't real. And I finally admitted it because I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want people to think that I lied or, any of those things. And so I finally said, I'm not saved. And I need this matter dealt with immediately. Mm-hmm. So my dad came into my room, and I remember him saying to me, Heidi, tell me what you know. Tell me the facts. And so I said to him, well, I know that Jesus died for me. I know that I'm a sinner. And I know that the only way to get to heaven is through Jesus. And so then my dad asked me something that was crucial to my salvation story. He said, Heidi, what does it mean to believe? And I just cried because that was the thing that was holding me back. I did not know. I did not know how to explain to him. I don't know. What does it mean to believe? And I knew that if I could just understand, if I could just get that point, I would be secure. I'd be saved. Mm-hmm. And I cried, and he tried to explain to me over and over again, Heidi, to believe is to accept. You're reaching out and you're taking a gift. The work is done. There's nothing else for you to do. There's nothing else to add to it. All you need to do is reach out and take it. It's being offered to you. It's free. There's nothing to do. When something's free, you just take it and say thanks. That's it. And I remember being like, no, but that's too easy. I can't get it. I just don't understand. And so he left me with a verse that I want to read to you all right now. And this verse was, at the time, very frustrating to me because it still did not explain my problem of believing. But I'm going to read it anyways because it eventually helped. So it says, this is from Romans 10 and verse 9. This is the Bible. It says, because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. So he left me with that verse, and I said, there's that word again. I don't understand it. Why do you keep telling me this word? And so he left, and I was at my wit's end. And I said to myself, you know what? I guess I'm just never going to get saved. I came to the end of myself, and I realized I'm never going to be saved because I can't believe hard enough. And then it finally hit me like a ton of bricks, so they say. I finally realized for the first time, I can't add anything to the work of Christ because it's already finished. He said so on the cross. It is finished. That would be like going up to the Mona Lisa and trying to add eyebrows to her because you think that's what it needs. You can't do that. It's a work of art and it's finished, and the artist has finished it that way. And so if you added to it, you'd ruin it. It's the same thing with salvation. The work has been done. I have nothing to add. I can't. In my own condition, I have fallen short of God's standard. What could I possibly add to what he's done for me? Nothing. So I finally realized at that point, that's it. It's really that simple. And the more I was trying to believe, the farther I was away from actually receiving what was being offered. And so when I finally came to the end of myself and said, there's nothing for me to do but take it, that's when I realized that's what salvation is all about. Jesus has done the work. It's just about humbling yourself to say, yeah, I'm a sinner. And yeah, I need to be saved. And Jesus is the answer. So that's my testimony, and that's my simple story. It's not overly complicated, but on February 1st, 2009, when I was 10 years old, I finally realized that Jesus died for me.
Well, thank you, Heidi, and I can see that this story is personal to you. This story has changed your life, and as we know that someone who has trusted the Christ, it has changed your life course and where you're going to be. Is there anything that you would like to share to our viewers who are watching and listening to your story? I've
talked to so many people who have said, this is my religion because this is what I was born. Like, I was born a Christian, or this is a Christian country, or even if it's not about Christianity, whatever the religion is that you were born into or practiced because your parents did, one thing that's crucial to understand is that Christianity is different from all of that, because Christianity, by nature, is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So you can't have a personal relationship through somebody else. That's a third party. It has to be between you and God. And another thing that's really important to know is that this is for everybody. It doesn't matter what you've done. Your past is irrelevant. You know, Christ died for every single person on the planet. So anyone who's watching this, doesn't matter what your religion is now, doesn't matter what you've done, Christ died for all of that. He can wash it away and make you a new creation. That's what the Bible says. That's his promise. So, you know, if you think, oh, this isn't for me, this is a white person religion, this is, you know, not for me, this isn't whatever. Like, no, it's for everybody. And that's the beauty of it, that Christianity, Christ does not discriminate. It's a message for everybody, and it's the most important message that you will ever hear in your life. So don't ignore God. Listen to him. If he's talking to you right now, if there have been things during this unique time period that, you know, have forced you to think about things a little deeper, or you've investigated other things and you feel like something's missing, read the Bible. Listen and talk and reach out to me or Andy and just ask us anything. But God is there and he's speaking, and don't ignore him.
Now, if you've liked the video and if you want to share it with your friends, please do so. You can also email me at my email address if you want to keep your conversation private, or if you want to ask me questions privately. If you want to be on my channel and want to share your testimony, just like Heidi did today, you can also email me and let me know that you have trusted Jesus Christ. You know what it means to be a Christian, and you would like to tell the world through this channel. So again, thank you for watching, and thank you, Heidi, for being with us today. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.